Hey everyone, William here. Just taking a little bit of time out of recording and editing, more specifically, some National Ninja League footage to talk about the second episode of Ninja vs. Ninja, American Ninja Warrior, the second qualification episode. It was, I would say, a better episode than the first one. The first one I thought was pretty good. This one I say was a great episode. There's a lot of cool stuff. Would have liked to have seen some more relays, but sometimes, these things happen. So let's get right down to it. So first up, we had Dark Horse versus Midwest Muscle. So for this time around the course, the third and fifth obstacles were different. You had the pole grasper and you had the spin cycle. I'm a big fan of the pole grasper, as I've mentioned before, so I think this is a better obstacle on Ninja vs. Ninja than the crisscross ring toss, in my opinion. Also, I've noticed and I've been informed that the net on the TikTok for this episode is a bit higher up, so it's easier to completely avoid the cargo net altogether. And kind of from what I've seen from behind the scenes footage, it appears that the episodes that have the pole grasper / spin cycle were filmed before the episodes that have the ring toss and shelf grab. So with Karson Voiles versus Ethan Swanson of Midwest Muscle, this one, I thought Ethan had it, but they made a big. Karson was able to get take the lead on the pole grasper. Pole grasper is just a great obstacle because you can block people, you can but you can still get around them. So it's very chaotic. It's a bit free form of an obstacle. I love that. But yeah, it was close. But Karson finished first, gave Dark Horse the 1-0 lead. Then was Tammy McClure, the Wine Warrior, versus Kirsti Pratt, the Machine. I remember Tammy now. I've remembered that. And the two of them, they were okay at first, but Tammy ended up going out relatively quickly on the TikTok, and she ended up, losing out. Kirsti took the time to finish the course, which is, I think is a good thing. Besides the fact that it allows her to get experience, but also just the fact that she's able to clear the course this time around. So that's always neat. And then the third matchup was the captains, Lance Pekus versus Tyler Yamauchi. And this one, basically, it was mostly Lance on this one. Tyler just couldn't catch up on the poles or the spin cycle. He had some trouble with going fast on both those obstacles. So in the end, Lance Pekus won. So Lance was up with Team Dark Horse 2-1 at this point. So then it came down to the first relay, which featured Tammy, Karson, and Lance in that order for Dark Horse, and Kirsti, Tyler, and Ethan in that order for Midwest Muscle. Basically, the women were a big factor in this one because once again, Tammy had some trouble on the TikTok, and there was a bit of a shady moment there where it looked like she clearly fell out of bounds, but they allowed her to continue anyway without any visible penalty, which, that's a bit sketchy right there. It was a bit sketchy of a call. But I guess in the end it didn't matter too much because Midwest Muscle ended up winning. So bring it down to 2-2. Came down to the final round, same order as last time. And this time around, Tammy, third time's a charm, finally got the TikTok down. And more importantly, this is the first time that Kirsti was not successful on the TikTok. For some reason, she didn't go on the first go. Maybe she just had a bad swing. I don't know. But that was the main deciding factor. And Dark Horse ended up winning 3-2. So they move on to the finals. And immediately, my pick to win the whole episode is out. So, hey, good on me for being able to pick them wrong. So, second round, was LaBreckfast Club versus Team Tarzan. So first up was Chris DiGangi, who they made sure you knew was the boyfriend of the team captain. So, true nepotism. I kid. Up against Travis Weinand. Rocking these, Travis rocking the banana shorts. Basically, they actually came pretty close to each other. They battled down on the poles. I think the final deciding moment was when Travis was landing on the spin cycle and he was unable to keep his footing solid and he kind of tripped a little bit. That gave Chris, I felt, enough time to truly take the lead and win for his team. So they were up 1-0. And then it's up for the women. Jesse Labreck versus Emmi Rose. Poor Emmi. She never got past the TikTok. She never left the TikTok. She never failed the TikTok. The entire time, she was stuck on the TikTok, trying to build up enough momentum. And yet, Jesse Labreck ended up finishing the whole thing. So, bringing her team up to 2-0. And it seems like you really need to get the TikTok on, like, your first swing. Otherwise, you're going to have some trouble building up the momentum again to get back to the net. And then it came down to John Alexis Jr. versus Ben Melick, the team captain of Team Tarzan. And really, Ben tried. He tried his best. He knew he had to go fast because John's a big dude, long wingspan, likes to go fast. And but ultimately, Ben slipped on the poles. He was unable to grab onto the pole that he went for when he made the big jump. And so he ended up losing, and that meant LaBreckfast Club won clean sweep, 3-0. Now, one thing I forgot to mention last week was that at this point of the episode, after the first 2 rounds are done, they have this thing called a super slow-mo cam during commercial breaks, specifically this one commercial break. Basically, where they re-show footage that had already happened in the episode, but in slow motion on one screen, and on the other side of the screen, they show ads. USA's been trying this out with SmackDown Live lately, and it seems like they're trying this again with A&W Ninja vs. Ninja. Doesn't quite have the same effect, because with SmackDown, at least you're still watching a match that's happening live, so I guess I appreciate them trying, this modern TV era. They want to make sure you stay on TV and make sure you stay watching, so I get it, but, not really a big incentive to continue watching the commercials. And so, the finals on the extended course came down between Team Dark Horse and Team LaBreckfast Club. Now, this first race was awesome. It was Karson Voiles versus Chris DiGangi. Basically, Karson took the lead on the poles, and then Chris DiGangi caught up on the salmon ladder, and basically Karson took the lead on the dice, and it came down to the zigzag climb. They were both standing at the start of the zigzag climb because they were going so fast, they got tired out. They were just like, oh, we can't go. And Chris started the zigzag climb first, but Karson was able to just get there first. However, he made a very crucial error because he was so tired. He mistook the smoke blaster for when you hit the button as the button that you have to press. Because basically, the smoke blaster has this light around it to, I guess kind of show people where it is, as in like, hey, don't trip on this, because it is nighttime. But basically, the button is up ahead, above them, and Karson dove for a blue light instead of the blue button that was above him. So Chris ended up getting the point. Very costly and a little bit embarrassing of a mistake on Karson's part. Feel bad for him. And then it came down for between Tammy McClure and Jesse Labreck. They ended up going pretty tit for tat at first. On the pole grasper, they ended up going back and forth. It just ended up coming down to the salmon ladder. Tammy failed the salmon ladder. Jesse was already on the rumbling dice, so in the end, Jesse won. I'm really glad we got to see a bit longer runs this time around compared to last episode when it came to the extended course. And then it came down to Lance Pekus versus John Alexis Jr. And basically, John was able to take the lead on the pole grasper, but by the time they got to the zigzag climb, John had a good lead, but Lance just started boogieing through the zigzag climb, but unfortunately, he was just short of being able to catch John. John and Alexis wins, and so Team LaBreckfast Club wins with 2 clean sweeps in 1 episode. They're moving on to the playoffs. Team Dark Horse moves on to the wild card, and the other 2, maybe they'll get wild card spots. I don't know. We gotta wait and see. But overall, I would say a better episode than episode 1. Had a lot of good, exciting runs. I'm glad we got to see the extended course better this time around when it came to the one-on-one format. I would like to see a few more relays, but unfortunately, sometimes sweeps happen. That's the nature of fair competition. So overall, I liked it. Liked it a lot better. It was good. And just going to give you let's give a quick preview of next week's episode. Next week is Team Party Time, which is Brian Arnold, Barclay Stockett, and Jake Murray versus the Brazzi Bros, Lucas Gomez, Brittany Reed, and Alexio Gomez. My pick's Party Time with this one. I think the former champs are going to move on. And then we have Fast Cats with Karson Williams, Lauren Keene, and Kevin Klein versus the All-American Ninjas, Jonathan Horton, April Steiner Bennett, and Paul Hamm. And this is going to be interesting because, I don't know, Paul Hamm is a long-time Ninja Warrior competitor back, competing on Sasuke back in the day. Wonder what happened to Morgan. Where's Morgan Hamm? Someone ask. Someone find that out. Where's Morgan Hamm? We got to get him back in the Ninja Warrior scene. I think we're going to get a bit of a surprise. I think more people might be expecting the Fast Cats to win. I think All American Ninjas are going to take it. And then in the end, oh man, who's going to win between the 2 of them? That's a tough one because everyone kind of expects Party Time to be the favorite. But the All American Ninjas, they could cause an upset, but you know what? I think I'm going to play it safe this time around. I think Party Time's going to win. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, let me know what you think. What you thought of episode 2, Ninja vs. Ninja. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, let me know. And make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you next week with more coverage of National Ninja. I will have more coverage than National Ninja League, but that's saying the wrong thing. I've been editing the Ninja League videos for too long. Make sure you stay tuned for more reviews of American Ninja Warrior, Ninja vs. Ninja. And for those of you wondering, yes, I will be reviewing USA vs. the World, but probably not this week because I'm busy editing. So until next time, see ya.